I'm going to talk about some of the most common errors that I've seen recently in dealing with literal equations. And I've covered these maybe in the other videos, but they're worth talking about again. A equals 1/2 BH, the area of a triangle. Area is 1/2 based on its height. If I'm trying to solve for B, we need to, of course, the 2. We'll get rid of the 2. It's a 1/2. So we can get rid of that by multiplying by 2 on both sides, or 2 over 1, if you want to write it that way. So that gives me a 2a on the left-hand side and a bh on the right-hand side. What I have seen, and I think this is because students didn't write down what they were doing, is they then went, and I'm going to write it in a different color so I can show that it's wrong. They went times h, and they said 2ah equals b. Well, the problem with this is that h times h is not 1. H times h is h squared. So they didn't simplify their equation when they did this. They actually made it more complicated. So that's not right. We don't ever want to do this. The 2 was handled exactly right, 2a equals bh. And now if you would write it down, I don't think a single student would miss this. If I'm trying to solve for b, divide both sides by h, and you get b equals 2a over h. Okay? I saw it a lot, and so it wasn't just a one-off, but I think in each case it was doing it in a student doing it in their head instead of actually doing the steps and writing them down. Okay, this one overall wins the prize for the most missed quiz question. And again, solving for things in the denominator is the problem. I got every answer, including the right one, for this, but I got all of the wrong ones as well. So one answer that I got was wrong was, let's see, students, I guess they multiplied both sides by t, maybe. They didn't show their steps, so I'm not sure. And then, they had t, p equals w. And then they said, I'm just going to move that p over there and get t equals wp. Well, they didn't show me a step, but if they did, the only way they can get this is by multiplying both sides by p, right? And that doesn't make the p move over there. I mean, you do get a p over here, but the p's don't go away over here. That would be p squared. So, no, that does not give you t equals wp. The other thing that I see students do is, okay, so they think, there's the t, this is what I'm after. I want to move that w. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 1 over w, which is fine. P over w equals. And here's the mistake that they make. They say equals t. But it doesn't equal t. When they multiply this, the w's cancel. This doesn't magically invert that term. The w cancels with the w, leaving a 1 over t. And so the correct answer to that would be p over w equals 1 over t, or t equals w over p. Okay? The simplest way to work this, and I've worked it in an earlier video, given that p equals w over t, and you want to solve for the thing in the denominator. Anytime you want to solve for the thing in the denominator, just go ahead and multiply both sides by it. And so you'll get a p equals w, because they'll cancel. And then you have the one you're looking for in a numerator. And then it's easy to take care of. Divide both sides by p, and the p's cancel, and you get t equals w over p. Which is the same thing we got up there, but it's a little quicker. And you're less likely to make that mistake of not recognizing that 1 over t is indeed a 1 over t and not just a t. So here's the third one that I saw a lot of mistakes on. Well, actually, I think I saw one primary mistake. The good news is most people did the first thing right. They multiplied both sides by 2 because you have a 2 in the denominator, and that's basically a 1/2. 1/2 times 2, they cancel, leaving 1. So I have 2v average equals v plus v0. I have to believe that if everyone would write it down, if they would write each step, that they would never make the mistake that the next step mistake that they made. And the next step mistake that was made was they divided both sides by v0. Well, you can do it. But then they said that this v0 and this v0 cancel, and they don't. Because you have to divide the whole side, every single term. So that would really end up giving me 2 times the average velocity over v0 equals v over v0 plus v0, which is a whole lot more of a mess than we had before. So no, and they don't cancel because here's this other term and it has to get divided by the v0 too as well. Okay, so what do? From the place where it was correct. So they multiply both sides by 2, and you get 2 times the average velocity equals v plus v0. I think everyone would get this right. Solving for v, subtract. So you get 2 times the average velocity is equal to the final velocity. And then we're done. I hope this was helpful.